In the quaint town of Strasbourg, nestled along the banks of the Rhine River in 1518, an eerie and inexplicable phenomenon unfolded, leaving the community in a state of bewilderment and fear. It was the summer of that fateful year when a mysterious affliction known as the Dancing Plague gripped the town, casting its spell on the unsuspecting residents. The first whispers of the peculiar event began to circulate through the narrow cobblestone streets. It all commenced with a lone woman, Frau Trophia, who, seemingly without cause or provocation, stepped out into the crowded marketplace and began to dance. At first, her movements were subtle, almost imperceptible, as she swayed gently to an unheard melody. However, as the hours wore on, her dancing became increasingly frenzied and uncontrollable. Word of Frau Trophia's peculiar dance quickly spread like wildfire through the town, and soon, a curious crowd gathered to witness the bizarre spectacle. It was as though an unseen force had taken possession of her, compelling her to dance with a fervor that defied reason. Despite the exhaustion and pain etched on her face, she danced on, unable to stop the relentless rhythm that had consumed her. Inexplicably, the strange affliction began to spread like a contagion. Within days, more and more townspeople succumbed to the irresistible urge to dance. The narrow streets of Strasbourg became a surreal stage for a macabre performance, as men, women, and children alike twirled and gyrated in a trance-like state. The once peaceful town now echoed with the haunting sound of countless footsteps, the rhythm of a dance that seemed to have no end. Physicians and authorities were baffled by the mysterious epidemic. Attempts to reason with the afflicted or physically restrain them proved futile, as the dancing continued unabated. Desperation seized the town, and theories ranging from divine punishment to demonic possession circulated among the fearful populace. As the days turned into weeks, the dancing plague reached unprecedented proportions. The town's streets transformed into a chaotic dance floor, and the afflicted dancers showed no signs of slowing down. In a desperate attempt to contain the spread of the malady, local officials made a peculiar decision: they encouraged the dance. Believing that the afflicted could only be cured by dancing out the mysterious ailment, the authorities organized public dancing areas, complete with musicians and designated spaces for the frenzied performers. The hope was that the constant movement would eventually exhaust the dancers, freeing them from the grips of the inexplicable compulsion. The plan, however, backfired spectacularly. Instead of diminishing, the number of dancers only grew, as more individuals succumbed to the mesmerizing call of the dance. The public squares became chaotic scenes of delirium, with people collapsing from exhaustion only to be replaced by new entrants compelled to join the bizarre spectacle. Historical records from the time recount tales of the dancing plague's devastating impact on the community. Many dancers succumbed to fatigue, dehydration, and even heart attacks, but the compulsion to dance persisted until their last breath. The once vibrant town now resembled a surreal nightmare, a place where the line between reality and the supernatural blurred into an indistinguishable haze. It wasn't until several weeks into the epidemic that the dancing plague began to gradually wane. As mysteriously as it had begun, the compulsion to dance seemed to release its grip on the afflicted individuals. The streets, once filled with an incessant cacophony of footsteps, slowly returned to a somber silence. In the aftermath of the dancing plague, Strasbourg was left to pick up the pieces of its shattered community. The bizarre episode had claimed the lives of many, and the scars of the traumatic experience lingered in the collective memory of the townspeople. Scholars and physicians attempted to make sense of the inexplicable phenomenon, but the true cause of the dancing plague remained shrouded in mystery. Centuries later, historians and scientists continue to grapple with the enigma of the dancing plague of 1518. Some speculate that it may have been a mass psychogenic illness, a phenomenon where psychological distress manifests physically within a community. Others point to ergot poisoning, a condition caused by the consumption of mold-contaminated grain, which could induce hallucinations and spasms. Regardless of the theories, the dancing plague remains one of history's most perplexing and haunting mysteries, a testament to the fragility of the human mind and the strange ways in which collective hysteria can grip a community, leaving an indelible mark on the pages of history.